And I said, yeah. I said, but dude, I got to work in increments. And then he just started hammering me about this $900 million. I said, you know what, man, now that you're saying that, I don't know what I have been thinking about. I said, it's the same effort, same energy, same resources, same risk, just a much bigger payoff. So the dude, he really got inside my head.
Using your own information on you.
Yeah, totally, right? So the next day, not even 24 hours. I mean, it got into it just shows you the power of the mind when somebody really makes a decision. Not just the law of attraction stuff, but I'm talking about when somebody really like says, hey, you know what? I'm going to go for that. The next deal I did a deal for $90 million.
The next
day, 1 week later, maybe 6 days later, I did a deal for 107. So in those 2 days, it's 100.
You're about almost 200 million.
197 million. I've done 25% of what he challenged me to do.
So I think what's interesting about that is that most people look at somebody like you or Tony Robbins or John Assaraf, and they think that they've already got it figured out and that they don't follow what the same stuff is that they teach.
Yeah.
But yet you had Lewis Howes throw back at you your own 10X rule, and then you ended up making $200 million.
Well, you know, I am a guy that I'm trying to figure it out. I'm not like I'm billionaire in the making. So
which is humble because a lot of people just are like Grant Cardone. And you're like, I'm not even started. I'm trying to get to the billions.
Every night I tell my wife, we're about to make it. We're going to make it. We're getting closer, right? I'm putting the wood on the fire. It's about to become a bonfire. And so I don't think I've made it by any means because I'm measuring against my potential. So I'm looking at what I think I can do. I'm looking at what I've seen other people do. Like it's inspirational to me, and I have not figured it out. Now, that being said, I take really strong positions on what I think I'm right about. I'm not trying to convince other people. I'm just like, this is what I do. I have to know I'm right.
I love that you brought up full potential. You were saying in one of your interviews I was listening to how you didn't feel like up until the age of 45, you were even trying to achieve your full potential. Tell us about that.
From 25 to 45 years old. I was broke at 25. 45, I was worth probably, I don't know. I mean, I was worth 10 or 15 million bucks.
But not even close to your potential, obviously.
Well, I knew I was.
$200 million.
But I started getting comfortable. I started getting seduced by the idea that I had done more than other people. You know, my mom said, oh my God, you've done so good. You know, people, oh, you've done so good. And I started buying the freaking, the pitch.
How do you get out of that though? Because
well, this is what happened, right? So what happens is on this planet, if anybody that's out there just gets comfortable, you will always be punished for being comfortable. The entire middle class in America should have had their massive wake-up call in 2008 and 2009. I don't know if it's God, some spiritual law, or whatever. Somebody came down with a finger and said, hey, you rested, you got comfortable, let me show you what I can, and they just pulled the rug out, right? So I watched all this wealth that I'd spent 20 years creating, just like go out with the tide. When I got married and started having kids, that's when I was like, hey, you need to get your freaking act here on point. And so like I'm in beast mode every day, trying to reach for what I can do, not what I have done.
So how do you start something like that inside of yourself and ignite that flame? Because for you, obviously something happened from 25 to 45, but then you got comfortable. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they do play the comparison game. And you're either looking ahead of yourself, like that guy's doing better than me, and makes you feel bad. Or I'm doing way better than all these people, though, so it makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
How do we get out of comparing ourselves and just strive for our best self?
They're both disastrous.
Yeah.
Comparing to the guy above you and below, they're both disastrous, right? Because I don't
ever do that. Do you ever get caught up in that game? I know I do.
Well, the only one I worry about is getting caught up in the I'm doing better than everybody else. Yeah. That's the one I worry about. That's the destructive one, okay? I'm not worried about being 25 and broke again. I'm worried about the middle place. And
that's one of your passions is get out of the middle class, avoid being middle class.
The middle class is the most hypnotized group of people in the world. You know, it's the people that are safe that are most at risk. It's not the people. The people that are at risk know they're at risk. The people that are safe are the ones that are like, don't understand, hey man, something bad is going to happen to you, right? Bad things happen to good people every day. Now, we don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be a cyber attack, shuts down the stores, shuts down the internet. You can't transact. You can't do business. You can't use a credit card. You can't, like, you're going to look around and say, I can't take care of my family, man. So I don't want that to happen to me. So I don't compare myself to guys that are, I know billionaires. I don't compare myself to them. I want to get with those guys, share my ideas, and they're always the ones that say you can do it.
So I think that's good advice. I think a lot of people live in the middle class that are watching this right now. And I think you have a large following of young people. So obviously that's a great piece of advice. What's another piece of advice for the young people tuning in that you wish you had when you were starting out?
Dude, I wish somebody told me to get rich. I would tell the millennial, just real quick, dude, get rich. You know, get rich.
So they got to buy the book to figure that out, because that's a long conversation about.
No, we need to do more of these interviews about how to get rich. You know, there's 3 things people don't know about money. They don't know how to make it, they don't know how to keep it, and they definitely don't know, number 3, how to multiply it.
So social media is one of the ways that you're making it, keeping it, and multiplying it. Let's get some quick little tips for the people out there, because I think nowadays there's so much bad advice about how to use social media to build a personal brand, to sell stuff online, which I want to talk about. But what are some quick tips you have for people out there to actually make money with social media?
Well, I don't make money with social media. Okay, so what I do is I get attention with social media, and attention precedes ever getting money. You know, the money I don't have today, you have. Somebody else has the money.
You always say, who's got my money?
Who's got my money, right? This should be your battle cry. So with social media, I'm not looking to get money from someone. I'm looking to get their attention. Attention precedes the ability to get the money. You don't just get money. You got to get attention first, right? So you walk into a store, you're walking into Whole Foods, or you're walking into Publix or Safeway or wherever you walked into, right? You went in there for prunes, and you're walking out with Corona. They got your attention. The Corona got your attention. You didn't go there for that. So you have to grab somebody's attention. It's like a connection. You're not going to keep it. It's not a relationship you're going to have forever. It's a distribution channel. It's a road, right? I grew up in Louisiana. Look, you got to get somewhere. The roads can be muddy. You might need a canoe. You might need the bayou. You might need the lake. You might need a highway, right? Whatever road is necessary. So for me, the problem with social media is people are becoming so dependent upon it. They don't know how to pick up the phone and call somebody. They don't know how to talk to anybody.
Hide behind the computer and the social media and the fake video.
They're becoming so dependent upon one thing. Now, if you watch the way I operate, I use everything, dude. Like it's free, right? So if I use California. I don't live here anymore. I lived here for 25 years. Now I'm just going to come use it. I'm just going to abuse the state, all their resources, come in, consume everything beautiful about the state, and then I'm going to leave. So the same thing about YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I want to use those channels, put communication on them, get attention, okay, communicate back and forth with those people, and hopefully provide something of value.
Did Louisiana have any impact? I mean, obviously you wanted to get out of there because you moved, but did growing up in Louisiana have any impact on who you treated?
Yeah, I mean, I think the bigger impact was my dad died when I was 10. That was a huge, like, you know.
What's going down, everybody? How is everybody doing on this fantastic Tuesday? Let me get this thing popping.
All right, so welcome everybody to Tuesday, September the 18th. I want to congratulate every single one of you guys for being on here tonight. Welcome, welcome. Please type in the chat your biggest takeaway from Mr. Grant Cardone. I'm actually going to be seeing his conference in Miami next year in February. All right, let's see here. Type in the chat, every single buddy. What was your biggest takeaway from that? One of the coolest things is Grant Cardone. If you guys haven't followed him, you guys need to follow him. One of the most realest, rawest sales trainers, speakers, whatever you want to call him. He has a very interesting story. And when he was 45 years old, like you heard him mentioned, he was his net worth was around 10 to 15 million. I don't know how old he is now. I believe his birthday was in 58, but he's now worth about $350 million. So he went from making, being a net worth around $15 million to 10xing what he would tell you if you guys ever follow him. And he's at 350 million with I think 5,000 apartment units, not including his sales training, not including his motivation, his conferences. So if you guys aren't following him along, his mindset, if you haven't read his books, 10X, Be Obsessed or Be Average, The Closer Survival, you guys absolutely have to be plug into that. Huge great guy to be a part of and follow him. Okay. So one of the biggest things I'm listening, this guy that's, net worth around 350 million is keep pushing himself. And he says he hasn't figured anything out yet, right? You will always be punished for being comfortable. The middle class is at risk, right, Antoine? You'll be punished for being comfortable, which is the middle class. And he could have been punished for being comfortable when he was a network with 15 million. Maybe being comfortable would have lost that money of, having scarcity of losing it instead of growing it and growing it and growing it. He's excited for what he can do, not what he has done. Comparing is disastrous. Most people barely know how to make money. They definitely don't know how to keep it, and they have a hard time multiplying it. Okay. Some of you guys, let me go back up. Mr. Eduardo, Kenny, Sam and Amanda, Miss Leslie, Antoine. Do not get comfortable playing the comparison game. It's just not good for you, right? You can't compare yourself to anybody else. The only thing you can look at is reaching your highest potential. One of my biggest fears, I don't know if you guys heard me say it, but is not reaching my potential, because that's something I can control, because I know inside ultimately what I can achieve, and anything less than that to me is unacceptable, right? It's standards that we uphold with each other. Okay, playing the comparison and get attention using social media. I don't know if you guys see my post today, but I got this social media series type thing coming out. We did our first shoot today. It looks actually pretty cool. So you guys stay tuned for that. Don't get safe and lazy, Mr. Funk. Welcome. Middle class is at risk. Right? Let's see. Oh, Miss Vanessa, welcome. Eduardo. Big Ron. Great. So, congratulations, everybody, for being on the call today. I want to go over some announcements before we pop into this thing. Tomorrow is Cash Flow Wealthy Wednesdays, what we call them around here. This one will be at 2120 Daniel Street by Costco in Manteca, 7 p.m. So everybody type in the chat, if it's at 7 p.m., what time should we be there? $6:30, $6:45. Yes. Awesome. You guys are getting it. We're all getting it. So 6:45 p.m. Just like you want to be paid. Okay. Help set up. Help bring in some, we'll get some pizza, help set up and all that great stuff. Okay. So cash flow tomorrow. Super excited. Then I fly out to Utah. On Thursday, I am going to be going to the Salt Lake Regional, so I can be taking away. You got 4 of the top 5 income earners of the company are going to be out there training. I'm going to go out there, me and Kevin Woods, we're going to go out there and take back as much information as we can for you guys. Kind of see how they do it a little bit differently. And then next week, ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. It is time to really execute, right? September 26th, which is Wednesday. September 26th. I don't know who's writing this red line right here. Please don't. Okay, September 26th. Hugh Zaretsky. He will be flying in on the 5 pillars of wealth. Absolutely cannot miss event. He did it earlier in this year. We get him maybe twice a year for rookie in our actual local market. And this is in Lathrop, California at the Holiday Inn on South Harlan Road. Okay, let's see. This will be at 7 p.m. We are charging $10 a guest. I think we paid about $300 for the room. So anything that you guys can donate, we surely appreciate. Whatever the extra is, I'm just going to cover it. So we're expecting probably 30 people, potentially. But make sure you guys come, and do not come alone. We want to make sure you guys are bringing something. The things that he's going to share, the people he's going to be able to help, the message he's going to have come across is going to absolutely be life-changing. You guys want to make sure you're helping out as many people you can, and you want to get them there. You want to be able to get them with you one-on-one, because then Thursday, the 27th, it's the first day of regionals. Okay, so 30 people. We're expecting 30 to 40 people. $10 a head. Let your guests know. It's absolutely small investment to have 2 hours of Hugh's time. Okay, so I mean, literally, we should probably be charging $30, 15, 20, $30. But we're only going to be charging $10 for these people. So Hugh Zaretsky, South Harlan Road, Holiday Inn, in Lathrop next Wednesday, 26th. Is there any questions about that before I move on? I want us to be all crystal clear. So it's at 7. Please try to be there minimum 6:30. I'm going to get there probably around 6:15-ish. Okay. This is, dress, business casual. So no jeans, right? No flops. Dress how you want to get paid. Any questions? Okay. Regionals. Talk about this. Regionals, it starts on next Thursday, the 27th, from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Okay. So what I need you guys to do is, let me see what's going on here. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah. So if you guys come in here, you'll see down here, they have the regionals. You guys have to register, and you guys will come in and you'll be able to see it's $100 a head. It's very cheap for the type of high quality people you're going to have to be there. There's a lot of people actually charging $200, $250 for the regionals. So we actually have a very reasonable rate. It's going to go from 1 to 7 on Thursday, 9 to 4 on Friday, and they have a $10 lunch available on Friday. So, we'll be able to have some lunch. I want you guys to plan on Friday. It's 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I want, if anything, I want you guys to make sure you guys there on Friday. If you can't make it Thursday, I understand it's a little bit tougher. I would tell you guys, if do anything in your power to be there Thursday and Friday. If you have to only be able to make it one day, Friday should be the day you make it there. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. we'll be having a team lunch with Hugh. So we want all the team there Friday with Hugh Zaretsky for that one-on-one time. We want you to build relationships, get his phone number, his cell phone, pick his brain, irritate him, bug him. That's fine. Not a big deal. I enjoy seeing him skirmish, right? But more importantly, the training is going to be phenomenal, but you want to build these relationships. We had about 100 people there last year. I built capital. I built relationships. I created long-lasting relationships across the country. If you guys are looking to travel, if you guys are looking to expand your business, you need to be here at these events where you have people from Seattle, Arizona, Utah, Southern California, wherever it may be, Nevada, coming here from the Bay Area as well and congregating with these types of associations of people, because that's what's going to happen when you want to grow your business. You want to be able to get your name out there. You heard Grant talking about it. You got to get attention. When I was first starting out with this company, with this team, with this network of investors, I had the only thing I could offer was my time, my energy, because I had no resources. I was starting to gain knowledge, but what I did was I just showed up day in and day out, event in, event out. People started to know my face. Yes, I was the brown guy that was walking around with a little bit thicker mustache back then and a little chubbier. So I stuck out a little bit more than average, but I wanted people to know who I am, because if you thought about me, hey, Central Valley Jose Zandri's out there, or they love my energy, they love that I can bring something to the table, that's how deals, resources, people, money are going to come at you. But it starts first by showing up, building these relationships, and allowing me to introduce you to these people. I know the majority, the people, not majority, I wouldn't say, but I have a decent basis. There's always new people, and we're growing every year. There were so many new faces last year. It was nuts, and it's fantastic. Okay, so team lunch with Hugh Zaretsky. Be there Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Team lunch with Hugh. Friday from 6:30 to 11:30 is the awards banquet. This is where we like to dress up formal. Ladies get a dress, men's get a nice suit or a tux. But this is where we get to have fun. We get to have another networking dinner, right? We'll be able to dress up, have a very good time together. You give out awards. You'll be able to hear other people's stories, see what they're accomplishing, what they've been doing. This is really where you guys are going to see the impact that Renatus real estate and the marketing business, what it's done for people's lives, right? It's really an opportunity for you guys to see how really big and impactful and how we're second to none when it comes to community, when it comes to really caring about each other's success and doing it together, not alone, moving forward, growing together, to be able to see the growth in people. It's a really exciting and special time. And I would tell you, if anything, come Friday, join the Brinkets dinner. We're going to be able to spend more time with the team, hang out with each other, and enjoy each other. Okay. That is, I think the award banquet is $70. You have to register differently or at a different, and then the regionals is $100. Okay. And, if we need to figure something out, give me a call and let's see what we can make happen. Just find an excuse to be there. Find an excuse to be there. Do whatever it takes. Show yourself, commit to yourself, make that decision. This is what we all invested in ourselves to do. So we absolutely need to invest the time in being at this. Is there any questions, thoughts, or comments about anything? Let me check out the chat. Frank, when you, yes, you'll be fine. When you came to lunch that one time, there was some information that Hugh had that was very premium, and that was the reason why he asked you to leave. But you're fine. You'll be able to be there. Don't worry about it. Come out, and we'll be able to enjoy time together. Okay. Anybody else have questions, comments on this? I don't know. I think what we'll do is maybe we can just gather somewhere close. They have on-site lunch, so I don't see really a reason to go out. waste time. Let's just get in line. $10 is pretty cheap. We'll be able to spend more time together. That's what I'm looking at. But I'm going to leave it up to you to go ahead and figure that out and take care of that. Antoine, are you what I want to do is Antoine was able to, he was going to come out to Sacramento Regionals. We spoke to each other. He said, you know what? It might be a better idea. Let's go ahead and plug you into an Atlanta region. Antoine went out there, said he had an absolutely phenomenal time, and he really wanted to share his exciting experience with you guys. Antoine, why don't you come off the line and share with the group what your experience was? Yes.
Can you hear me now?
I can definitely hear you, my man.
All right, good. Hey, everyone, I'm here in Greenville, South Carolina, and it was just an hour away from me down in Atlanta to go to the regionals. And when I tell you that 170 is nothing compared to what you're going to receive, I had a blast. Time I got in there, Hugh kicked it off with getting it out of your own head. He kicked it off with marketing. Eric Counts is a straight comedian. He had me rolling. It was like I was at a comedy show. But most of all, I was learning at the same time. So you're going to have a blast. You're going to have a great time. But most of all, you're going to be fired up. You're going to know exactly what to do once you leave that place. You're going to know exactly what to do when it comes to Renatos. And the main thing I got out of that is that I connected with people who were just now starting up. We got phone numbers, so you'll be able to network with people. You'll be able to get phone numbers and connect with people that's just not starting up, or people that's been doing deals in real estate and doing deals in being an IMA as well. So it was most definitely a blast. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna have the same great time as I had down here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, I seen it. It looked like you guys had a really good time. It looked like you met a lot of great people.
Oh, man,
you know,
yes.
and being able to, like, you know, you got to experience that, you know, for you going in, not really knowing, you know, maybe, but Hugh was the one guy you were expecting to meet, and to be showered and just be instantly felt welcomed. You know, these are the things I've experienced, and I can see it happening.
Man, most definitely. And when you call it a community, it really is a community, man. You really got people that really care about you, down to earth, really want to help you succeed in this company. So I can see myself being here for a while. So y'all going to experience the same thing. Most definitely.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Well, Antoine, I want to congratulate you for making it out there. How long was the drive?
For me, it was just an hour and a half.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, man. So we're excited, Antoine. We got on a call with you. So we're expecting some big things out of there, and we're planning on building up a market over there and helping him out. So we're excited for that. So good. Yeah, good shit, man. Okay. All right. So what I want to do is, okay, is everybody aware and good with what we're expecting for tomorrow and next week? Type a Y in the chat. Type a N if you do not. Perfect. You guys are awesome. Guys, so what I'm really excited. The team is really growing. I'm really excited to see the growth in every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are out there. Some of you guys are going to be receiving awards, and for you guys to be able to receive awards at regionals, you have to be in attendance. Okay. What I want to do is make sure that you guys are putting in the action, taking the time out of every single day, moving forward, growing your business, growing yourself, taking the necessary actions to 10x your business, right? Making sure you guys are moving forward in whatever you're doing. So, Sam, are you available to come offline? I know you guys had a very great week. You guys got close to a deal. Why don't you come off the line and explain the process and how it went? We want to celebrate your success and celebrate the progress you guys are making.
Yeah, so I mean, So this last week, we've really been getting it together. We've been able to micromanage our time better because I noticed that one of the biggest things that was holding us back from moving forward in the business was we were making excuses, right? We're going to work, working 7 in the morning till about 6 at night. And then the work isn't the hard part. The hard part is driving to work and coming back because I don't know what it is about the drive. Maybe I was like driven around as a baby in the car and that's why I get sleepy. But something about being in that car ride, man, just makes me tired. But we were always making these excuses that we weren't having time, we were tired and all this. So me and Amanda really had to like settle down and just sit, micromanage our time, and really start making things happen by putting things in the 30-minute increments. And then by doing that, we were able to start putting in more offers. Well, Amanda, especially, she's been knocking them out right now, putting in offers. Like she's even showing me how she runs numbers because she's a pro. And we came across this deal out north in the north side of Stockton by 8 Mile Road. This beautiful 3-story house. Hardly any repairs needed to be done at all. Just maybe some paint. Maybe landscaping at that, but I mean, the house was fairly new. But at the very end, it just did not come through. And it would look like all high horses. Everything was going great, but at the end, it just not come through. And I'm going to leave this part to Amanda because I can see her eagerness to explain it.
I wasn't eager. I'm over it. But basically, that's too close to my face. Basically, the guy said that we thought he was uneducated because we want to get 20 to 30,000 profit, and that there's no need to talk to us. He basically was super offended and made it seem like we were like super dumb.
Why don't you? But tell him a little bit. You guys, what you guys ended up doing was you guys, found this property, right? You guys ended up talking to the friend, which you ended up getting the friend to come out to cash flow. And then what you guys did was walk the property, right? So you guys walked the property. Did you guys use your checklist? Did you guys end up using the checklist?
Yeah, we actually used a checklist. It was a 4-page checklist to make sure everything was going good in the house. That way it was easier to run our numbers. And then we used the iOS to input everything. So we saved all our images, all the videos, and all the comments and people we talked to in the iOS. So that was good. So that way we had like a place to go back and see that. And then, yeah, Jeanette, the girl that we got to come out to cash flow, that was pretty good. She was super interested in becoming an investor, but she didn't know how to be one. So I invited her out to cash flow, and that was good. She had fun.
Right. So you guys found the deal. You guys went out there. You guys followed the system. We're putting in using the iOS so that I can oversee the deal and we can help each other out and be well communicated. Guys, I don't want you guys just to send me a property and say, is this a good deal? Right. We want you guys to put in the action that you guys are learning from your classes, going through, having a checklist, taking videos, sending pictures, uploading all the comments with the notes on the sellers, figuring out why the seller wanted to sell, figuring out what their motivation is. The challenge we had with this gentleman was he wasn't really motivated. He wasn't very motivated. It was a decent overall property, not a huge fixer, right? And it was paid off. And we just made an offer that was a little bit too low for him. But, if you guys are getting too many offers accepted, you guys are probably offering too high, right? And so the good thing is you guys, guys put in the work. You guys got over the fear of talking on the phone. I know you guys were a little nervous. And then it became easier after, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like when you're overthinking it, you're like, man, this is hard. You really just do it. Running the numbers is not as hard as it seems. Making the phone calls is not as hard as it seems, but it really is your mind being the general and your body being the army, and the general knows what needs to be done and gives the orders. It's just up to the army to respond and follow the orders, right?
So it's easy. It's not hard, right?
Right.
It's easy. Well, cool. Well, congratulations to you guys. Just keep following up consistently. So good job on that. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is we are going to transition to study groups. So it is 8:35. I am going to give you guys till 8:51. So if you guys are doing the AIT study group, can you guys please please call in the line, right? please call in on the line, announce yourself. This is for AIT members only. For those of you guys who are doing the essentials, we're going to stay on here. And I believe Eduardo is going to be upholding it today. And I believe, what are you guys covering today in AIT, Mr. Andres? Rehab day 1 with Mr. Brian Sump. Whoa. You guys are off there. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and figure that out. All right. 8:51. Be back here. Not a minute later. Mr. Eduardo, are you ready for your time to shine?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, my man. You got 14 minutes. Why don't you go ahead and give us the second half of Real Estate Foundations? And I know that you were such an all-star last week, and you were able to go ahead and clear the field and do the whole class. But why don't you, for us who are just trying to do half classes right now, help us out for the second portion of this week for Real Estate Foundations with Mr. Hugh Zaretsky.
All right. I believe last week we left off on, I think it was it was buy and holds. It was on that slide. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, picking up from where we left off. So the difference with the buy and hold, or the thing that's going on with the buy and hold, it's it replaces your monthly income depending on how many, depending what your income is, your monthly income. You have to worry about the rehab or the tenants, etc. It's a bigger risk, so definitely is going to be more money out of your pocket. With most buy and holds, it's typically held for 1 year plus. It's not really like a fix and flip that's just less than 6 months. Let's see. Oh, and with the buy and holds, you could also do you could build long-term wealth. So conventional versus hard money lending. What will a bank base the loan amount against? So typically, like, a hard money lender will typically lend you money based on the ARV, the after repair value. The bank loans you money on the cost, typically 80% of what the total cost of the house is. So it's easier. It all depends, because some of them have like higher interest rate. It depends what you want to do. So like if you're gonna do a buy and hold, it's better for you to do to go with the bank loan. If you want to do a hard money lender, then it's for the fix and flips. So the questions we have to really ask ourselves is like, what percentage is gonna work out for us? What are we gonna be doing, the fix and flip or buy and hold? And then so yeah, that is completely up to us on what we're gonna do. But that section is really really interesting section, because I didn't really know much about it until I went through it, and I had to go through it again just to refresh my mind. So there's other ways that he listed to finance a deal. It's seller finance, subject to, lease option, lease purchase, wrap mortgage, assumption, and contract for deed. So the buyer's profit. Not every property is a home run, right? We have to start slow to build up capital. Then once we have the capital, we can make the big bucks, take the bigger risks, right? Basically, sometimes the profit comes over time. If the seller is happy, get a good testimonial. Make sure you ask for one. If he says like, oh, I'll make sure to write you one when I get home. You know what I do now is I carry my laptop with me, so just in case they say, like, if I were to do a deal, which I haven't, but I will soon, I hope. A good like, I could type it up for them, and I don't have to wait for them to be like, oh, I could do it when I get home. Just, it's quick. It's better for me because that's a referral. So making your offer real estate transaction from start to finish. Determine the seller's motivation. Find out why he's selling, what's wrong with the property. And then just we make the offers. Make escape clauses, and then the seller motivation. Ask why he or she is selling multiple times in different ways. Be positive, not negative. For example, nice place. Why are you moving? Why are you selling your property? Never use the word home, because home brings in emotions. So once you use the word home, they might, they're already emotionally attached to that house, because who knows, something like, that's the house their kids grew in, their grandkids, or whatever the situation may be. So when you use property, it's kind of like it lets them know, that there's like no emotion, that you mean business. You know what I mean? So listen more, talk less. A lot of people like to talk about themselves, and people like them. People like themselves. So the great example that Hugh used was that when you're traveling, and you're in Europe or Mexico, wherever you're traveling to, and you find somebody else from the United States, you say like, "Oh my God, like you're from the United States, yeah." So you guys become friends. So they recommend a restaurant. You don't even ask questions about the restaurant. You just go and eat there because the guy or girl from the United States told you to go eat there. So you trusted them, right? So try and find kind of like things kind of like in common with the person selling the property, and then just be honest and care. Honesty can take you a long way. For example, last week in cash flow, Leslie, she was honest with the wholesaling deal, and I took advantage of it. But another gentleman there saw that she was honest, and then me and Jose put in bids for his property, but he gave her the property instead of us because she was honest. I'm at a much lower cost. So it's wants versus needs, right? So everybody wants a mansion, but in reality, what we need is a house, right? So wants profit versus needs to get rid of payment. We solve their problems. We give them choices. All the other alternatives, if they do not choose, your choices. So the example that he used was do cash offers. But if you're gonna do cash offers, you better get a discount from that. If they don't want to do that, then you work something else. You work something else out. And then don't figure out why they say no. Like he says, it's a rabbit hole, and it's not going to be any good at all. So just if they say no, it's okay. Better not question it, right? So contract. So the contract, the offer summary, it's contract, purchase agreement versus letter of intent.
Eduardo,
Yeah.
let me ask you this. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I really do. I think you're doing really good. I want to ask you though, what do you feel is your biggest takeaway? I know you watched the whole class. What's that one thing, maybe those two things that you've gotten that just really stuck out to you and that really just stuck onto you?
Well, the thing that got to me the most was just stay connected with my local, with you guys, of course, and the Renatus community. It's just I'm so used to making excuses. It's kind of like, oh, my work, I can't do it because I'm working too many hours, so on and so forth. But last week I proved myself that I can finish a class in a week if I really set my times apart and
Right.
actually sit down and do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So overcoming my fear and just staying motivated, this really grounded me again. It really showed me like, okay, you can do this, it's not hard, it's just a matter of you doing it, right? So like at the very end of the slide, I think the slide 37, the common pitfalls and excuses, right? So they're in the audience, he's asking them like, okay, so what's stopping you guys from doing this? And people are listing fear, time management, money, knowledge, motivation, so on and so forth, right? And then most, if not all of those problems linked back to the community and the local community and Renatus, right? And then just implementing a system. So that's what like really, those are my takeaways. It's just that, if I have the key to success, then why not use that key, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, why when sometimes we just overlook things that we have it right there in front of us. It's up to us to execute and grab that opportunity, right? Yeah. And I know you were working, things kind of stirred you away, and then you got re-engaged when we talked. Did facilitating this weekly class, did that help you learn it better and keep you more engaged?
Yeah, it actually did, because it's like taking notes is okay, but when you're like taking notes and then you're talking about it, taking your own notes and you're talking about your own notes, like facilitating the class, it's well, to me it seems like it sinks down more. I have a better understanding about it more.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool, man. Well, I see a difference. You're showing up. You're doing these things. I know you're going to be there Friday for regionals next week, so I'm excited to see you there.
Yeah.
that didn't sound too promising.
That was a very unsure. Yeah.
That was not a. You're that was very nerve-wracking. If you have to call in sick and say that your cousin Jose is not feeling well and you got to take him to the hospital, I'll be more than happy to write you a doctor's note. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I haven't really worked where my boss is at right now, like at the home ranch. I'm working at a different one, so I haven't really had time to see him. And I don't want to do it over text or a phone call because that's not professional.
Well, make sure you take care of it tomorrow so you give him plenty of time. Cool, man. Congratulations. Appreciate you taking the call. What I want to do now, so we want to schedule in for next week. Who here who's doing the essentials, who has not done a facilitation yet? So if you guys see here in Helios, as I'm logging in, Vanessa, we are going to, I love you telling me, but we're going to give you a couple weeks to get acclimated. And then I'm going to drill you and let you take the stage. Yeah, no, we want to set you up for success. We don't want to feed you to the wolves, but don't worry, we will. You get 2 weeks and that's it. Then it's a game time. Let's see, learning paths. Okay. Essentials. What the heck's going on? All right, so I believe we're going to be doing.
Hey, Jose, sorry to interrupt. Is that Chris Albin now?
Possibly. Does he look older to you?
No, he looks slimmer.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think he did lose a little weight. Okay, so here's the essentials classes you guys come into. So we did real estate foundations. We did velocity banking. So we did velocity banking and then we did real estate foundations. Okay. I'll let you guys choose. Tax and legal, or do you guys want to do real estate marketing? You guys just had Hugh, so the real estate marketing would be Hugh again. Let me see. Let me see the chat. Sorry, guys. Tax and legal. Antoine, who else? How do you guys feel about tax and legal? Okay. Antoine, have you done a tax and legal? Or a study group? I don't think you have. Have you? Oh, perfect. All right. Well, then I'm gonna have you do. Antoine will be doing tax and legal day 1, half of the classes. So make sure you guys are doing half of the classes. Antoine, whatever half of it is, you guys are gonna go ahead and do it. For tax and legal day 1 next week. Okay. Mark, Andres, why don't you please come off the line and give us a 30-second high-level view of what transpired with the AIT class?
All right, great. So yeah, the AIT class is great. Everybody that has done it, Sam has done it, Kenny has just done it, and doing an outstanding job. So they're picking out the key points, asking questions, making sure we're all understanding our classes. So it's a great platform for the AIT. So Kenny will finish off next week with the rest of the rehab day 1. So it's a great thing that we're doing.
Cool. Give me two takeaways that you got from the rehab class.
So 2 of them, let's see. One, he had a bunch of terms and conditions, which kind of explains all the terms for the things for rehab. He makes right turns to go through a property so he doesn't miss anything. Building code you need to know, how to inspect the property. He went over some electrical, how to check the electrical. So, you know, your costs, make sure you know your closing costs. So, yeah, a lot to learn, a lot we've learned and a lot we got out of it. So it was good. Love it.
All right. Well, cool. Congratulations, everybody, for being on the team call tonight. It is about that time. We have 6 more minutes. Do any of you hate the IRS doing the tax and legal? Oh, man. You know what? Because of my driven passion to not pay as many taxes, the tax and legal class is one of the best classes for that. So you know what? It fits in perfectly for you because nobody likes the IRS, right? So Antoine's going to be handling that. Kenny, you guys got the AIT going down. Any burning desire questions you guys have for me before we get off the line? You can simply take yourself off mute or type it in the chat. You guys have me for 5 more minutes.
Hey, so you said that in the real estate foundations, he teaches us how to run numbers, right?
Yeah.
What slide is that exactly? Because I can't remember it like off the top of my head, and I try to go back right now and look for it.
Yeah, just simply go into it. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
So if you go to education, what you can do is simply go over here and look at the different slides, right? Goal setting, ready, fire, aim. This might be it right here.
3 weeks. I want you guys to fuck.
Not this one.
The one that I was possibly thinking was
Analyze the deals right here. 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, so all you guys have to do is come in right here and check on the playlist. Okay. How do you feel about team training on the software? Kenny, I think that's a fantastic idea. Because whenever you guys, I think it's something we need to do. I was giving this a little bit to Sam and Amanda of these properties. When you guys have a property you want to show me, or you want that you're looking at, you want to analyze it, and instead of sending me a whole bunch of through emails, we show you how to put how you should specifically go through a property, what information to collect, and how to put it in the iOS. So maybe I can do that next week. Possibly next week. I don't want to promise it to you guys and not deliver, but definitely we will have to do it. We'll have to definitely do that. So remind me next week if I can do it. We can do that, or what are those type of things. How are you getting the phone numbers? What phone numbers are you talking about? Kenny, what phone numbers? For the properties on iOS leads. How am I getting phone numbers? We do skip tracing. If you want to look at skipgenie.com, it helps you skip trace. It's about $100 a month, and then it's $1 for every person, but they give you a list of known phone numbers and things like that. Skip tracing is what we use. We use skipgenie.com. Okay. And we can go into that. All right, guys. Well, congratulations, every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are doing the daily actions. If you guys need anything, shoot me a text, send me an email. Remember, cash flow is tomorrow. And let's get it done, guys. Make it a great one.